The Scythian languages are a group of Eastern Iranian languages of the Classical and Late Antiquity period, spoken in a vast region of Eurasia named Scythia, except for modern Ossetian, which descends from the Alanian variety. These languages are all considered to be extinct. Modern Eastern Iranian languages such as Wakhi, however, are related to the Eastern Scytho-Khotanese dialects attested from the kingdoms of Khotan and Tumshuq in the ancient Tarim Basin, in present-day southern Xinjiang, China. The location and extent of Scythia varied by time, but generally it encompassed the part of Eastern Europe east of the Vistula River and much of Central Asia up to the Tarim Basin. The dominant ethnic groups among the Scythians were nomadic pastoralists of Central Asia and the Pontic-Caspian steppe. Fragments of the speech known from inscriptions and words quoted in ancient authors as well as analysis of the names indicate that it was an Indo-European language, more specifically from the Iranian group of Indo-Iranian languages. Alexander Lubotsky summarizes the known linguistic landscape as follows: unfortunately, we know next to nothing about the Scythian of that period. We have only a couple of personal and tribal names in Greek and Persian sources at our disposal, and cannot even determine with any degree of certainty whether it was a single language. Classification. The vast majority of Scythological scholars agree in considering the Scythian languages as a part of the Eastern Iranian group of languages. This Iranian hypothesis relies principally on the fact that the Greek inscriptions of the northern Black Sea coast contain several hundreds of Sarmatian names showing a close affinity to the Ossetian language. The classification of the Iranian languages is in general not, however, fully resolved, and the Eastern Iranian languages are not shown to form an actual genetic subgroup. Scythian may instead be classified as part of a northern Iranian group together with Ossetian, but separate from Eastern Iranian. Some scholars detect a division of Scythian into two dialects, a Western, more conservative dialect, and an Eastern, more innovative one. The Scythian languages may have formed a dialect continuum. Alanian languages, aside those Sarmatian in the West, were spoken by people originally of Iranian stock from the 8th and 7th century BC onwards in the area of Ukraine, southern Russia and Kazakhstan. Modern Ossetian survives as a continuation of the language family possibly represented by Scytho-Sarmatian inscriptions. Although the Scytho-Sarmatian language family does not simply represent the same language at an earlier date, Saka languages are Scytho-Khotanese in the east, spoken in the 1st century in the kingdom of Khotan, and including the Khotanese of Khotan and Tumshuqis of Tumshuq. History. Early Eastern Iranians originated in the Yaz culture in Central Asia. The Scythians migrated from Central Asia toward Eastern Europe in the 8th and 7th century BC, occupying today's southern Russia and Ukraine and the Carpathian Basin and parts of Moldova and Dobruja. They disappeared from history after the Hunnish invasion of Europe in the 5th century AD, and Turkic and Slavic peoples probably assimilated most people speaking Scythian. However, in the Caucasus, the Ossetian language belonging to the Scythian linguistic continuum remains in use today, while in Central Asia, some languages belonging to Eastern Iranian group are still spoken, namely Pashto-Pamir languages in Yagnobi. Corpus. Inscriptions. Some scholars ascribe certain inscribed objects found in the Carpathian Basin and in Central Asia to the Scythians, but the interpretation of these inscriptions remains disputed. An inscription from Sikez written in the hieroglyphic Hittite script may represent Scythian. King Partatalva equates to the Scythian king called Prototyes in Herodotus and known as Partatu-A in the Assyrian sources. The Asic inscription, found in a Scythian kurgan dating approximately to the 4th century BC, remains undeciphered, but some authorities assume that it represents Scythian. personal names. The primary sources for Scythian words remain the Scythian toponyms, tribal names, and numerous personal names in the ancient Greek texts and in the Greek inscriptions found in the Greek colonies on the northern Black Sea coast. These names suggest that the Scythian language had close similarities to modern Ossetian. Some scholars believe that many toponyms and hydronyms of the Russian and Ukrainian steppe have Scythian links. For example, Vasma associates the name of the river Don with an assumed, reconstructed, unattested Scythian word *Danus, water, river, and with Avestan Danus Pashtud and an Ossetian Don. The river names Don, Donets, Dnieper, Danube, Dniester and Lake Donasliv may also belong with the same word group. Herodotus' Scythian etymologies. The Greek historian Herodotus provides another source of Scythian. He reports that the Scythians called the Amazons Oiopata, and explains the name as a compound of Oioi meaning man and pata meaning to kill. Most scholars associate Oioi man with Avestan vara man, hero, Sanskrit vara, Latin ver man, hero, husband, pi *u. Various explanations account for pata, kill, Avestan pi t, lord, Sanskrit pati, pi * poti, cf. Lat. potestate, Ossetian maran, kill, Pashtu mel, Sanskrit mariyati, pi * mer, die, Ossetian fedden, cleave, Sanskrit patayati, fell, pi * peth, fall. Alternatively, one scholar suggests Iranian Iwa 1 plus wera, breast, the Amazons believed to have removed a breast to aid drawing a bow, according to some ancient folklorists, and as reflected in Greek folk etymology, a plus mazos, without breast. Elsewhere Herodotus explains the name of the mythical one-eyed tribe Arimaspoi as a compound of the Scythian words Arima meaning one and Spu meaning eye. Some scholars connect Arima one with Ossetian emist only, Avestikaraim quiet, Greek eremos empty, pi *hrh mo, and Spu I with Avestic spars foretell, Sanskrit spars, pi *spec see. However, Iranian usually expresses one and I with words like Iwa and Kazmin. Other scholars reject Herodotus's etymology and derive the ethnonym Arimaspoi from Iranian aspa horse instead, or the first part of the name may reflect something like Iranian Raiwant rich, cf. Ossetian Riwara rich. Herodotus' Scythian theonyms. Herodotus also gives a list of Scythian theonyms. Tabati equals Hestia, perhaps related to Sanskrit Tapati, a heroine in the Mahabharata, literally the burning. Papios equals Zeus, either father or protector. Avestan, Sanskrit pa, protect, pi *peh. Api equals Gaia, either mother or water. Avestan, Sanskrit ap pi hep. Goitus Iros or Oitus Iros equals Apollo. Perhaps Avestan Ga theta a animal plus Ura rich. Argimpasa or Artampasa equals Aphrodite Urania. To Ossetic art and Pashtu or fire Avestan of theta Ra. Thagi Masadas equals Poseidon. Pliny the Elder's natural history derives the name of the Caucasus from the Scythian Kroikasis equals ice shining, white with snow. Alanian. The Alanian language as spoken by the Alans from about the 5th to the 11th centuries AD formed a dialect directly descended from the earlier Scytho-Sarmatian languages, and forming in its turn the ancestor of the Ossetian language. Byzantine Greek authors recorded only a few fragments of this language. Bibliography. Lubotsky, Alexander. Scythian Elements in Old Iranian. Proceedings of the British Academy. The British Academy, Zargoshnasp, 116 to 189-202. Hinge, George. Herodot zur Scythischen Sprache. Ari Maspen Amazon und die Entdeckung des Schwarzen Meers. Glotter. 81–86–115.